Hey, amigo, what is going on? Welcome to the Great Ace Attorney. That's right, it is out, and it's finally playable in English, and I cannot wait to get started. How is everybody doing today? I hope everybody's having a fantastic day today. Just give me a second. I want to make sure I hear everything clearly. Alright, I think that's loud enough. Alright, let's start our adventure, shall we? So, we could skip to the second game if we want to, right? I mean, I know there's adventures and then resolve, so why play the first one if I can just skip to the second one, right? Forget the first game, I'll just skip it. But let's do it. Let's see how this game begins. Ah, they got some animation in here too.
Empire of Japan.
Let's
After
do
the
it.
storms, a push for cultural
Wait,
transformation.
Automod did not like you
Influence
saying
Western
beat
influence
monster,
this far
Firebrand.
eastern island
It did
nation.
not like how you said beat monster. I don't know why
Revolution
Automod
was
chooses the
built around making
weirdest
life in the
words,
capital
right?
Exciting and unsettling.
Chooses the weirdest
It was a period
things.
of great change.
By the way, how's the audio?
Was swept away
Audio A-okay to everybody? Cause look at the— oh! Somebody's dead. We're just trying to enjoy the day and somebody— what is that head? What are all those heads? Oh!
But for one man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning
I see
of an
go-
extraordinary story.
Oh, wait. So I'm suspected of killing the man. Wow. Main character killed the man. The Adventure of the Great Departure. The beginning of the end, I gotcha. Wow. Alright, November 22nd, 8:43 a.m. Supreme Court of Judiciary. Defendants. Antechamber. Wait, there's autoplay? I'm gonna put autoplay on. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate? That's one day after your birthday? Well, happy day after your birthday, somebody died. What? Oh, no, nothing. Save your glares, murderer. Yeah, I turned off autoplay. I don't want to leave it on because I feel like I'll miss things. Sorry. He has no face. My name is Ryonosuke Naruhodo. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now here I am, awaiting my trial. That's enough! Oh! Why is this bandana flying in the wind? Where is the air coming from? I like this guy already. He's not obliged to listen to such abuse, officer. And who are you? I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Lawyer? Yes, and until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. So you will hold your tongue or I will slice it off for you. Technicalities. Look at you, you haven't even graduated yet. I love that they're just carrying around swords. Are we gonna do battle? And yet, I still seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave. Right, Ryunosuke? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, no, I suppose that wasn't my fault. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this, I'm sorry. There you go again, apologizing. Just like always. Though I must say, you've been all over the newspapers these past few days. Yume University professor murdered in cold blood by student. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not, you have to believe me. I didn't do it. I could never murder someone. Then there is nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head high. You mean... I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryonosuke. I'm pronouncing the name correctly, right? It is Ryunosuke, right? Kazuma Asogi, my best friend, also in his second year at Yumei University. But he's far more clever than I, a star student in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive considering he's still an undergraduate. It's not that impressive. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old. Here in Japan anyway. My qualifications don't mean much. Yet. You said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started. Haha. Congratulations, Kazuma! It looks like you're gonna get to study abroad at last. I know, I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and successes in court. So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you. And proud, as your friend. There's not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura billowing around his temple. I want to bring about change in our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too. Then come with me. We have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's City of London together. Wow. They're going to tear up the streets of Her Majesty's City of London. Now that's a Phoenix Wright game right there. Londonfornia, Californian, there we go. I mean, we gotta add California in there somewhere, right? That's how it all works. Japanifornia, then we got Jadon. London, Japan, Jadon. There we go. If only it were that simple. Oh dear, look at the time. I better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. Eyeball. And then, he was never seen again. He just disappeared from my life like that. It was straight after that. That's when it happened. Asogi, may I have a word? Who is it that— Oh. Hello, you two. I gotta say, the models look amazing, though. The models look amazing. How is this game so freaking clean? Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case has personal significance to me. Well, never mind that for now. Asogi. You should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. You advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result. Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at university before. I see. I'll go at once then. I shall accompany you. I shall accompany you. Alright then, Ryunosuke. I'll see you in the courtroom. Yes. Thanks, Kazuma. The one thing that irks you is that the models are like completely stationary if they're not talking or switching poses, and when they're talking it looks so weird. Oh, they're trying, Stevie. They're trying. They're absolutely trying. Awkward? This is, yep, he said it. Said the words out of my mouth right there. Hey, Pixel Dog, how do you do? If I may. Yes, sorry? You must be the defendant. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Yujin Mikotoba. Yujin Mikotoba. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yumei University. Professor Mikotoba. Close enough, then how do you pronounce it? I've heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Kazuma studying abroad. Asogi has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand? As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you've no doubt heard, Asogi has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that permission will be revoked and never granted again. What? As I suspected, you were unaware of this. I had a feeling Asogi may have chosen not to tell you. Just pronounce it like that and you'll be... Thanks, Axel. What would I do without you, huh? Ugh. He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered? But I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing? The administration has to choose from a large number of applicants for overseas studies. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable circumstances. I don't believe it. Thank you, Axel. Appreciate the help. Now, right now, I'm dealing with this because my friend could lose, and... Do you see the line of judges up there? The line of judges. For some reason, they all have one thing in common. Or maybe two things in common. Maybe three. But I didn't do it, I swear it! I'm not a murderer! Why doesn't it have voice acting? If it's anything like Professor Layton vs. Phoenix Wright, there may be voice acting in certain parts of the game. Not full voice acting, I guess. I'm sure that's true, nonetheless. I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there were certain peculiarities about today's trial. Sorry? What do you mean? You'll soon understand once proceedings get underway. Wait. Is this the new suspense theme right here? But, then what should I do? Well... Naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right, so... As soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. I do? But what will the question be? Surely not... Do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. Defendant! Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. It would seem our surreptitious... How do you pronounce that? Surreptitious discussions are to be cut short. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as the defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving! There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyway. Dang. Anyway, let's move on anyway. Let's not talk about my bad way of saying words. This is it. If this trial goes badly, Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over. And what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, I embarked on an unforgettable trial. I like the suspenseful zoom in and whatnot. It's like a soap opera. My one and only chance of proving my innocence. The trial that will decide my destiny. Let's go! Trial begins! First trial, let's go! November 22nd, 9 a.m. Supreme Court of... I'm gonna say Supreme Court, Courtroom 2, let's go! Oh, what is this close-up right here? You see the sudden eye movements and whatnot? So, this is a courtroom. Woo, looks pretty sweet. The Supreme Court. No court in the land has more power. The same face as Toon Link. I don't much like the look of those people sitting in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms in there. The powers that be have demanded that this be a secret trial. A secret trial? A trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. What? But why? It'll become clear in time. But for now, you need to concentrate, Ryunosuke. It's about to begin. Oh. Wait, is that another Winston Payne? Whoa, Judgy Uji, what happened to you? The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Oh, court theme, let's go! Oh, hold on. I can get used to this court theme right here. The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency. Ouchie? Is that his name, Ouchie? Wait, what's his first name? Where's my court record? I gotta know. As is the defense. Before we begin, there is one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. By the way, Naruhodo, look at him. He is really nervous, isn't he? By the way, chat, can I get an audio check? Everything sounding good to everybody out there? And also, can I get a look check? How do I look on camera? Normal procedure is for the defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I am obliged to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? Looky okay? This is it! This must be the question! Who's going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. But then, if I say I do... I need to answer quickly. What should I do? Let me try answering I do. Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. Oh. As I'm standing here beside the defendant, I hope it's clear who
Yes!
Oh. There was English right there. Yes! That was a yes right there. What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that Ryunosuke Naruhodo will be defending my wait, what? Oh. I think I made a mistake. You'll be... What? What are you playing at, Ryunosuke? Professor Mikotoba told me everything just now before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad will be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get you off? No, it's not that really. It's just that... Well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you... Yes, I knew that's how you feel, which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor shouldn't have snuck his nose in. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's Also, they're letting me defend myself. Okay, this will be interesting. Well, well. Does the accused admit defeat already, renouncing his own counsel? Really?
Objection!
Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparent he's confident that he can speak for himself. Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san? Oh, yes, exactly! Exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all. In fact, my mind's a complete blank. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered. Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court. You must have perpetrated a most heinous crime indeed. Oh great, here comes the Winston Payne being like, oh, I'm high and mighty until I lose my hair again. Oops! As you're no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judici... How do you pronounce this one? Judiciature? Judiciature. The Supreme Court of Japan, I'm gonna say with that. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhodo? Yes, Your Excellency. It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you have undertaken. My competence? What does that mean? He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, he can't be questioning it more than I am. So let's start with the very simplest of questions. Oh, yes. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. Well, that's easy enough. I've heard his name more Wait. That's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I care to Isn't that the same line from the first case in the first game? And then I forget. Oh, it was Miss Cinder Block. That's who it was, right? But, wait. I'm so nervous I can't even remember that. What was it again? It's exactly like the first case of the first game. Ryunosuke. Let me guess, your mind's gone blank? You know me so well. All the relevant info for this case can be found in the court record. But I can't even find that. It's simple. You can access the court record with a press of R. If you ever find you've forgotten something, just consult that. It's all there. I just have to press R for the court record. Alright, there's no time to lose. Ooh. This is the list of evidence you've collected. Now try switching to people instead with R. You'll find details about the victim in here. When you're done, just press B to go back. So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. So, instead of my lawyer's badge, I have a collar pin. Can I present that to everybody, please? So let's see, death occurred a little after 2 p.m. and was caused by a loss of blood from a gunshot to the chest. The bullet did not pass through the victim's body. Let's see, victim is John H. Wilson. He's British. The way these games just casually break the fourth wall to tell you to control. I mean, do you not know what the R button is? I mean, don't you just end up in court and talk about the A button sometimes? Fatal hemorrhage from pectoral ballistic trauma, no exit wound. Bullet did not pass through the body. So Kazuma's 23. We have Yujin Mikotoba, 42. Takasuchi Ouchi. Who would appear to have little love for the changes to cultural reformation has brought about. And John H. Wilson, 47 years old, the victim of the case. I love the sudden change in art where you have these three and then British man. You can tell there's like a sudden art style change. Now you better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the people section of the court record, then press X to present. Try it now. Gotcha. Yes! The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university. Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, invited to Yume University 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. You haven't been able to deduce what Ouchi is a pun on other than Ouchie? Just Ouchie, I guess. I guess like the Winston Payne family just has puns based on being hurt. You know, Winston Payne, then Takasuchi Ouchi, like everybody's in pain. As most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation. And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilt on our soil. You two are both undergraduates at the Imperial Yume University, are you not? Oh. Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor? Ugh, but I didn't do it. This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. And you're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. So that's why the Shroud has these unusual peculiarities, is it? Exactly, our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. Now he's a dead Englishman. But nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Oh dear, look at the time. I better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little longer. Good idea, after all. It's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then. Eyeball. 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 The British Empire. Wow, it's incredible to think. That's it, it's incredible to think. Wait. Is that John H. Wilson over there? I've seen that man at university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still. I should go and say hello. Hello, Mr. Wilson, how are you? So I went over to the professor's table. Aw, look at him. And introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. Oh, I guess we'll know more of the story as we go on. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death. The cause of death? Well, obviously, that was, Ryunosuke? Remember that in court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence. By evidence? But how? Find a piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death and select present. Do it now! Alright, gotcha. Yes. My collar pin! Well... Oh, look at him, he's so nervous. He's really shaken up, isn't he? According to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma. Learn to read, you imbecile. That's the post-mortem report, I take it. Sorry, yes, that's right. The, post-mortem report. In the West, the doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. Oh, I see. As long as I'm not going to be tested on any of this later. This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. You can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range. Thank you, counsel. The court will accept as modern scientific evidence into the record. Modern scientific evidence, so that's what a photograph is called. Look at this modern scientific photograph! So that's a photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before. It's clearly superior to a drawing. The detail's incredible. Very well, I am satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial. What? He just praised the sun for a second. He praises it. Certainly, Your Excellency. So without further ado, in order to better apprise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened. This is it then. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Mikotoba? Yes, clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me. But that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. Of course! When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he? Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma. Well, my first piece of advice is, Rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweat. Only if you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first. Literally, how's that thing flying? Where's the air coming from? I love it. Can I have a headband that does that indefinitely? Oh. Is that a server? Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please. Of course, my name is Satoru Hosonaga. I am the head waiter at a Western-style restaurant called La Carnival. Oh. He's got... Oh, is he bleeding? Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some, Oh. It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. I think that is something bad right there. Who the heck coughs up blood and says, it's fine? The last time I saw someone cough up blood, that person died. Well, it really should. As everyone knows, the capital Southeastern Quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants and accidental eatery 3 days ago. Understood. Hosonaga-san, you will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident. At once, sir. And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please. Oh, perspiring maybe, but aspiring? It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We had few diners at that time of day. The lunchtime rush was over and there were only 3 tables still occupied. That fits in with my memory of it too. There was hardly anyone else in the place. It was when I was in the kitchen putting away crockery and cutlery. Gunshot. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried to the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair, and standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student.
Yes!
Hold on! Just let me clarify something here. Also, when he says something that you're accused of, you don't say yes. It sounds like you're agreeing with him. Yes, that was me right there. I shot him, and I have the gun right here. Everybody backs off. While I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him.
Objection!
Oh, that's his voice? I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what he saw, you amateur. Yes doesn't feel the same as hold it? Wait, yes replaces hold it? Aw, but I love hold it. Hold it! It sounds much better than yes! Okay, but the next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, defendant Naruhodo. Don't worry, Yunosuke, you'll have your chance to fight back. For now, we must just quietly listen to the witness. If I may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here in court today. Sorry, I'm bleeding. Yes, without question. I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim? I feel sorry for that big towel he has. That thing must be covered in blood. No, there was no one else around that table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. Huh? Wait, what did he just say? There was no one else around that table? What's the matter, Yunosuke? That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello... Oh, there was a woman sitting opposite him at his table. It was the woman at the table. Really? And that's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjecting, but still. Oh, he did the anime glasses. I gotta wait and see. I'll get my time. I desperately want to say something, but I was told not to interject. For Yunosuke. If your parents tell you to study, you're the kind of man who would diligently get to work, aren't you? I suppose I am. I never got into Yunmei University otherwise. But you can't just always follow the rules in life, you know. If you don't say what you want to say right now, you'll seriously regret it when you're found guilty. Oh, he's got a point. Alright, you scared me. I won't forget that piece of advice in a hurry. And there is something I want to say. I'm just gonna shut my eyes and say it!
Yes!
Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at some table. At the same table. Dear me. What are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all? But I'm sure of what I saw. Hosonaga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy? No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it. Is he in cahoots with the woman at the table? We'll find out. I actually have a rough plan at the restaurant as it was that day. Please, have a look if you like to. Oh, what a lovely drawing. Let me see. Ah, a sketch of the establishment's layout drawn by yourself, I presume. That's right, I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. How could I? How could I what, Citrix? Also welcome. Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter. Wipe off the blood, wipe off the blood, wipe off the blood, put it on somebody else. Play without you? Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well... Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course, here you are. Oh, someone is acting mighty sus, let me tell ya. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Oh my goodness. Something certainly seems to have shaken him. The waiter's business card has been entered into the court record. Don't pull the innocent look. What do you mean a guy is dying? You're trying to make me look guilty. A guy is dying and you're trying to make me look guilty. That's a bad cough right there. I'm sorry I let him cough for that long. So, I praise the sun. The court has now heard a priestess of the case. Well, hold on. I want to check that business card a bit. So, oh wait, they actually translated everything. That's cool. So let's see, can I actually use the magnifying glass to find out something, like, really weird? Or is it just to, like, zoom in, because I think it's just to zoom in, isn't it? Oh, alright. Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant, the only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. By the way, chat, who here is also playing Great Ace Attorney? Just doing a little check. Defendant Naruhodo? Yes, Your Excellency. If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you. In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. You got done with the first case a few hours ago. Wow. Citrix, you as well? Nice. I called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. But I must warn the defense, if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial, the prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime. Wait. So, the server says there's only me and John H. Wilson, but Alchi is like, there were other witnesses. What do you think I should do, Kazuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm gonna be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Are you an idiot? You're a doofus. You're not guilty. Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual, about these peculiarities. You said it, Professor. Mikotoba said it, and so has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face? Is that it? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then the defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Or are you just going to give up on yourself? Can I say yes and just, quit the game? If I say yes, do I just quit the game? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. Ah. Whoa! I'm shocked, like, oh my goodness, why'd you slam the table? I freaking love Kazuma. He reminds me of Edgeworth a bit. The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is. You gotta love Kazuma, am I right? He's great. Indeed. Prosecutor Aochi, please continue proceedings. Well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. The previous generation. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I wanna be. In a few short moments from now, that dumbstrung young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witnesses. Oh, when they mean witnesses, are we doing the Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright thing where there are multiple witnesses at once? Let's see them. Let's see all the witnesses at once. They brought it back! They brought back the feature! I love it. Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court. Yes, sir. The Great Nippon Imperial Army Surgeon Iyasanosa reporting for duty, sir. Myself, I find employ as a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the efflorescence of our nation Nippon, and conduct my trade from Rasute, a humble premises, in the 2nd District. Kyoryo Korekuta at your service. Korekuta. An antique dealer and a soldier, what an unusual pairing. Yes sir, no sir, and Kyoryo collect- Wait, that's that play on words? Yesa no sa. Yesa no sa. Yes sir, no. Oh my goodness. Kyoryo correct. Oh my goodness, these punny names. That's amazing right there. Yes sir, no sir, and Kyoryo correcta. That is amazing. Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question. They must be the diners at the other table that the waiter mentioned. Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always post-noon, and not infrequently converse with interested parties regarding the curios with which I make my business. I can't understand a word that old man is saying. He's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. I do apologize if I'm fumbling up my words, chat. The vocabulary goes from, I can read this, to, what the flip is the pronunciation of that word right there? Bear with me, chat, bear with me. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Right, I see. Although to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer. Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct? Affirmative! The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir! It was that black uniform rogue infantryman over there who unloaded... Wait. What was that sound? I just heard a what? It wasn't a Crash Bandicoot, whoa. This man's as impossible to understand as the other. But I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he's... Okay, so it was in the game. So this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead. Yes. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Yep, same here. Now the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Standing by ready. What is that sound? Standing by ready to report, sir. Unsavory memories of a most acerbic afternoon. Can you stop staring at that thing? He is really shaky. Alright, let's see what they saw. I was ingesting a regulation beef steak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman. At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. What is that sound? I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back the cowardly little weasel. I was on my hands and knees, investigating the whereabouts of my mysteriously absconded precious curio. Okay, simple enough. Well, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. That wicked university cadet, sir. That sound is throwing me off a lot. What the flip is... Wait. When did he pull out a knife? Can he actually pull out a knife in the... That old man just pulled out a knife! Hello, Professor Wonton. Welcome to the stream. How are you? What times we live in when an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day. Like, can you bring weapons in this court? But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true, Ryunosuke? Yes, all I did was pick up the gun that I saw lying on the floor. You been meaning to try out this game? I'm glad I actually got to try this out. I got this yesterday. At once, I wanted to stream this yesterday, but I gotta keep to my schedule, you know? This game is actually pretty dang good looking so far. On the Switch, this game is amazing. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous. But Wonton, good to see you on the stream. Hope you're doing A-okay. After I said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then, when I finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant when I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. Oh. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. You know, like, every professor has dropped their gun. You know, they all drop their guns, right? I mean, I drop my guns all the time. So I bent down, and just as I was picking it up... Where you always drop your... I mean, we all drop our guns, right? Everybody drops their guns once in a while, nothing special. You know where we are. Everybody has their own flippin' gun. Well, if that's the truth, there was obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue as to who that criminal was. There is. Ryunosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses. Cross-examine? Do it now! As we have heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. It is time to bring this despicable student to justice. Certainly, the testimony the court has just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of this
Yes!
Yes! Declare the verdict already! I love that. Why do you keep raising your hand? This is not class. I love that. Yes! Pick me! What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst? I mean, the defense demands its right to a cross-examination. Dear me, dear me. Let me guess. The Hachimaki headband boy next door told me to do it. Hachimaki? How pathetic. Huh? How did he know? Because his headband is moving with no fans nearby. Where's the wind coming from? The prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
Oh, that was a good objection. The defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. Gulpy. Kazuma is so commanding. I think I'm falling for him. Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witnesses. Alright, this is where the battle really begins, Ryunosuke. But I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witness's statement. How? You didn't fire the gun, which means what that soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it, and the key to doing that is evidence. Right, evidence. Chat, you're ready for a cross-examination? Who's ready? All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Dang, the way he does— Kazuma's like making me sweat a bit. Now let's go, Ryunosuke. Don't let them beat you. What was that? Hold on, give me a second. I need to— What? Did he— Wait, hold on. I need to replay that again. What the heck was all that? I need to hear that slap again. What? How do you— Oh my goodness, that is weird. Does he not put confidence in those hands of his? It's all or nothing. Slap. Little slappy slap. Cross-examination time. What the witnesses saw. I was ingesting a regulation beefsteak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man.
Yes!
Yes! You gonna say something? What? Why aren't you saying anything? Is this some new interrogation? Yes, it is! I hadn't actually thought of what I wanted to ask. Just ask about anything that catches your attention, anything that bothers you. Chad, I think I love this game already. Alright then, this beefsteak you mentioned, what kind of food is that? Tea and shit! Beefsteak is a delicious cut of veal, vigorously cooked on a cast iron grill and served piping hot. Oh, if food could receive medals of honor, beefsteak would be— What is that sound? Beefsteak would be almost as highly decorated as a cutlet. Right! I see! Thank you, sir. So, next question. I was hoping to come up with a question while I was cross-examining, Your Honor. I did not. Oh my goodness. I can see where Phoenix Wright got his, where he got his stuff from, his charms, his— yeah, ancestors, right? It all comes back full circle. I gotta love this family. This cutlet you mentioned, what kind of food is that? Tension! Cutlet is a delicious cut of veal tossed in breadcrumbs and deep fried in cooking oil. Accept your guilty verdict, atone for your crimes, and when you're released from prison, try it! Yes, sir, I will, sir! On the double, sir! Sorry to interrupt, but how about trying to stick to questions that are relevant to the case? Kazuma, honestly, he looks like he could be Edgeworth's ancestor. He does have that Edgeworth charm. Look at that— look— Oh, wait. Look at that face. That is easily an Edgeworth face right there. Come on. Kazuma is definitely Edgeworth. Oops, sorry, I'll do my best. So, next question. Is it just me, or do you keep hearing a sort of wild crying noise? It's right there. What do you mean negative? Well, at least we've learned that he's a big beef lover. Affirmative. He does have edge for what it's worth. Hey, I got an achievement. There's achievements in this game? Say what? Wait, there's achievements in this game, are you joking? It's not easy knowing what questions to ask. That's crazy. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman.
Yes!
I mishold it already. I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, Koban boy. Koban? You mean an old Edo coin? The day prior to the incident, a treasure of exceptional value from the Hoei period entered my possession. I took myself to the restaurant the following day, with said item secreted in my bosom pocket. Please don't talk about your bosom pocket ever again, in the hope of an affluent, cognizant appraised of its indisputable value being present. So, you were hoping to sell your Koban coin? To Surgeon Nosa, who you met at the restaurant? Yes, it's quite clear where you're going with this, boy. I am a man. Hold on, I'm shedding my hair a lot. You were about to assert that a penniless soldier would have no hope of purchasing a precious Koban. Isn't that so? Well, you little upstart cadet. You want to add disrespecting a superior officer to your list of crimes, do you? Blatant subordination. Wah! No, I didn't say anything, and I'm not balding. Although penniless might be just a word I was looking for. In any case, the hour was already advanced beyond that of the midday luncheon. There remained precious few present with whom I could engage in discourse about matters of business. The gentleman aside me who was grappling with his braised veal at the time was my sole prospect. I see. At that precious moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. Hey, Monument, how you doing? I mean, the thing is, I was thinking about... They were talking about London, and I was gonna mix Japan with London. Jadun. Welcome to Jadun. Japan's London. Jadun.
Yes!
So, you're saying that you actually saw me at that time? Affirmative, I saw you! Laughing, cackling like a madman as you trained the barrel of your gun on the English civilian? What was that slap? But that's impossible! I cried. Allow me to confirm just one point, please. What's that, Private? Thinking carefully about the statement you just made, it seems to me that it must have been just after you heard the gunshot that you looked over to the victim's table. And so what if it was? Well, if that really is the case, it would mean that you didn't in fact see the precise moment when the killer actually fired the gun. Oh. Ah. And double R. Triple R. My sixth sense. Sorry? My sixth sense of danger. I picked up the waves of murderous and energy radiating from your foul mind. Which means... a split second before you pulled the trigger, I was looking right at you, cadet. Surely that's not really possible. I mean, chat, I got a question for all of you. What's with the wah? Also, do I have any murderous vibe coming off of me right now? Is there a murderous aura coming from my body right now, right? Is there? Is there? I will grab your face! I will grab your face! Do you think I've got to where I am today in the army if I couldn't sense danger in the air, son? Well, it would seem the soldier is absolutely convinced that he saw you do the deed. This is not good. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel.
Yes!
Wait, isn't this one... So this black uniform university cadet, you're saying that was... Oh wait, before we continue... He was shot from the front in the chest. What do you mean in the back? Yeah, I remember. He said the back, but it was shot from the front. Not me. I didn't shoot him. I didn't shoot him. Ugh. I've just had about enough of your sauce, cadet. Give me more sauce, please. Who else do you see around here in black uniform, Well, there's someone standing right next to me who fits the description as well, but... It was you little weasel. You unloaded the firearm on that man from behind his back, and you call yourself a citizen of the great empire of Nippon. You disgust me. What is it, Ryunosuke? I'm not quite sure. It's something that the surgeon just said, but I can't put my finger on it. Something's playing on my mind. In that case, check back over the details of the evidence you gathered in the court record. And if you find an inconsistency there with what the witness just said, then don't hold back. Present the evidence to the court, thrust it in the witness's face and make him choke on. Oh. I got the evidence right here. Like literally, it's just like this. I have the evidence right here. Literally, that's what Kazuma wants me to do. He just wants me to do just that right there. Shove the evidence in the mouth. Now I just have evidence in my mouth. Oh, I need to wash that taste of evidence out of my mouth. Hold on a second. I played that bit a bit too much. Yeah, I had the aftertaste of evidence in my mouth right there. That was weird. Alright, so let's go present some evidence. Let's see how an objection sounds like. I believe I'm gonna press this because he was shot from the front. Yeah, from the front, so...
Yes!
Wait, what? No objection? Where's the objection? What? Why is everything a yes? Anybody gonna say anything? How long till Kazuma... Please don't tell me this turns out to be a Miya situation where he just dies second case. Please don't say that. What? What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Thrusting some photographic print in my mustache. I actually thrusted it in his face? Inconsistency, sir. I mean, yes. Wait, every time he slaps the table, I love that he looks back at it like, wait, that's not how it's supposed to sound. What does that sound? Ew. There's a clear inconsistency here. What nonsense. What can this print possibly tell us that we don't already know? Well, obviously, I know what I want to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth. I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student in here in this grand courtroom. This is so frustrating. Dang. Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. To spell it out would be an insult to the court. Kazuma, what? What are you talking about? It's apparent from a single glance at the photographic print presented by the defense that there was a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement. What? Sergeant Iesanosa. Yes, sir. What, sir? The statement you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir.
Yes!
Yes, I did. But no, that just can't be. And why not, cadet? Because... Take a close look at the print. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Sergeant? According to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? What? Wait, there's a baby? Is he shoving the There was a child! Oh, that explains the straps on his front. He has a child strapped to his back. What was that? Something just popped up from behind his back, but he pushed it down again. Certainly, there was a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa? Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be indisputable. Until the moment I heard there's the baby again. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge, my eyes were firmly fixed on the delicious La Carnival steak, sir. What? The last testimony the court heard has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Iesonosa, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all. That's absurd. I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. Hold on, chat. I need to, like, straighten up my back. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. Hey, inconsistencies here. Achievement. I got so shocked there was an achievement right there. There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial just from that one discrepancy. So this is what being an Ace Attorney is all about. He said the name of the game, Ace Attorney, let's go. Roll the credits. But I definitely saw him. That university cadet there, he was pointing a firearm directly at the victim's back.
Yes!
That's right, Wonton. Roll the credits right now. Here are the credits. Oh man, these credits are great, chat. Those were great credits. But I never fired the gun. All I did was pick it up off the floor and waved it around and went, yes, bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, straight to the moon. And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either. Backward Star Wars style credits. Hey, the budget's gotta be upped somehow, Wonton, you know. My videos don't have that much of a budget, but sometimes a little more budget's gotta work. Such as, you know what else is backwards? My room. Wanna know what's backwards about it? It's a fake. That's backwards right there, baby. Myself, I have already been quite clear. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor? Everybody walk the dinosaur. Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for treasure. Treasure? Treasure? What? Indeed, the Hoei Era Koban, my prize coin. On each occasion when I visit that restaurant, it is my habitude to place it in my bosom pocket, a particular trinket of interest of my shop, Rasute. Why did I choose low transparency for the subtitles? To see the rest of the model. Is it not good? I like seeing the whole model. In the hope of meeting a rich diner who might like to buy it from you? On the day under scrutiny, it was to the military man that I proffered my Hoei treasure. Yeah, you can change the transparency right here. You can have transparency off, low, or high. I want to see the whole model, so I put it on high. Believed that he would purchase such a rare find, I did not. Nothing wrong with that, but it's weird. I just like seeing the whole model. I want to see everything about the game. Come on, I want to see everything. It's not so wrong, Sidetrix. But I was presented with little alternative. And then, after averting my eyes for the oh! Holy flip! Wasn't there a character in Phoenix Wright vs. Ace Attorney where somebody was pulling on their beard as well? There were characters with big beards that just love to pull on their beards. If I did that, I have a bald spot right now. After averting my eyes for the briefest of moment, it was there no more. It simply vanished. The Koban vanished? Hunting around under the table, I was, in case mayhap it had fallen there, and then it happened. By the way, chat, I just want to let you know, I will do the first case tonight and do the second case, well, depending on how the first case, how long it is, I don't know how long it is. But if we finish early enough, I got an extra thing planned that we can do. It's a short thing, but it's an extra thing for those who stick around. You heard the gunshot, you mean? Indeed I did, but I heeded it not, for I was concerned only with finding my absconded Hoey treasure. Nothing could distract me. Out of interest, did you find a coin in the end? No. Leaving now? Sidetrack! I see. That lamentable day, the precious Hoey Koban was lost to me. No doubt some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself. No, sir, I didn't. As I'm sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon. Nevertheless, the witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive, no matter how subservient our government feels it must be to the British. It would be unforgivable to deliver our verdict on this trial right now. What is your position, Prosecutor Ouchie? Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. Worry not, Your Excellency. Ouchie, ouchie. What is this character I gave him? It's horrible. The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but he will find a wolf at the back. My witnesses have further testimony to make. Explain. Upon hearing their next statement, it will become abundantly clear that there is only one person who could possibly have committed this despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant Ryonosuke Hanaruhodo. What? He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he? There's just something about the Winston Payne not liking the Phoenix Wright family, right? Even as ancestors, they really do not like each other. Well, the Payne family doesn't like the Phoenix Wright family, but Phoenix Wright family don't even know who Winston Payne is. I remember, like, at the end of the first game, when Winston Payne was shown, Phoenix Wright's like, who was this guy again? Nobody remembers Winston Payne. Ugh. Nobody remembers Mr. Payne. Very well, the court invites the witnesses to testify again. You will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegation. Is that clear? As clear as Kiriko Glass, Your Excellency. Yes, sir, at once, sir. Awaiting signal to testify, sir. Aw, baby. Baby. Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think. Affirmative, the newest member of the Nosa family to rise up through the ranks, sir. Name? Aido. Aido Nosa. Wait, I don't know. Aido Nosa, I don't know. Wow, that's a good one. It would seem those straps are a sign of the sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny. Aido, tension! Aww, your father's about to quell the enemy. Oh my goodness. That's adorable. Watch and learn, my boy. I do? I like saying I don't know, sir, because it's a baby. Babies don't know, sir. Even if what I saw wasn't a precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing. Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man he was, that young lad in black, that much I myself did see. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself. Therefore, no one other than the black uniform cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out! Aw, baby. These testimonies are certainly yes, they are. Wait, that's nonsense. The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all. Please, enough of these outbursts already. But there was a woman. There was a young woman at his table. Girls exist! You must have seen her! Everyone there must have seen her!
Objection!
Can the baby testify? The baby must have saw the lady. If you call yourself a lawyer, then you will respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly. We are not here to listen to your fantasies. It is evident beyond all reasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the time of the incident. The prosecution has photographic evidence of this fact. Is this a photographic print of the scene of the crime, counsel? Steak. Indeed, of the table at which the victim was dining, taken by an investigator immediately after the incident. As can plainly be seen, there is only one place set. Certainly, based on the appearance of this print, it would be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not in the company of anyone else. This doesn't make any sense. The court will add this new photographic evidence to the record. Carbonated water and a steak lunch. Can anyone in this chat buy me a steak dinner sometime? If you see me, the only lunch you can buy me is steak dinner. Steak lunch, steak breakfast, and steak dinner. Maybe steak snack as well, but nothing else, chat, okay? I don't understand. What's going on here? It's just not possible that nobody else saw that woman. Maybe I'm going crazy. The waiter before said the same thing. Do you have to take me to a movie too? I mean, you don't have to, but... we can... I already saw Black Widow, but... we can watch the Paw Patrol movie that's coming out in August. Paw Patrol the movie, everybody! Yeah! Paw Patrol the movie! Let's watch it! Yeah! Paw Patrol the movie! He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well. But that's not true! I saw her! I swear that I saw a woman with him. It would seem that we'll be able to telegraph the report to Great Britain on time after all. The witness testimonies we have just heard leave no further room for doubt. These are the very sensitive political times, as we all know. The ink is still fresh on the treaty with Great Britain. To think that I, Takasuchi Ouchi, will have contributed to the amity of these two great empires is an honor. Oh, I can see where Phoenix gets that animation from. How can this be happening? The judge is ready to rule! He's ready to rock! Stand tall, Ryunosuke, it's not over yet. What? If what you say is true, then there is something going on here behind the scenes. Now's your chance to expose it, to draw out the truth in your cross-examination. I don't know, Kazuma. The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witness, but make it quick, understood? Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. Rules can be so unbending at times. By the way, chat, what are your feelings about the game so far? I gotta say, I'm loving the music I've heard so far. The models look amazing. This game is so crisp. It's so crispy, you can take it in your mouth and crunch it. Even if what I said wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing. Oh wait. Oops, it's cross-examination time. I already read that stuff.
Yes!
Yes! Oh, no, it's not the same thing at all. For a start, I didn't fire that gun. We have a difference of opinion on that. The opinion of a uniformed officer versus that of a fledgling cadet. I don't think so. Consider this, defendant. Just a moment ago, I blinked. Did you? Did you see it? Did you see me blink? How could I? And yet, it's an undeniable fact that I did blink. So there you have it. Have what? Attention! The sound of the firearm rang in my ears in the very next moment. I saw you waving the gun at the Englishman. I think that says it all, don't you? And let us not forget that the antiques dealer witnessed the accused in this most incriminating position as well. Isn't that so, Kurakuta-san? I'm shaking. He didn't say yes. Yes, pointing his gun at the... Oh, there it is. There's the yes. Pointing his gun at the foreign man, he was that young lad in black. That much I did see myself.
Yes.
Yes, it may be true that I was holding the gun at that point in time. But I told you already, that's only because I picked it up off the floor. Well, obviously, as the culprit, that's the only way you could explain it anyway. I had just finished drinking my coffee, and I was about to leave the restaurant when... I noticed the gun on the floor at Dr. Wilson's feet, so I picked it up. And at exactly that moment... Bang! A gunshot rang in my ears. Full of events beyond our control, life is. Sorry? What do you mean? Also, why is Kodakuta speaking like Yoda? In your case, you found a pistol on the floor and picked it up, which precipitated this testing predicament. Whereas conversely, I failed to pick up the Koban from the floor and find myself in an equally testing predicament as a result. Anyway, the fact remains, myself, I did see you. With pistol in hand, standing over the foreigner. He likes looking at that knife. Can I have a knife to look at? Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. You must have noticed someone else at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there.
Objection!
As you have been at pains to point out time and again, I feel I'm growing a callus in my ear. And yet, no one else appears to have caught even a glimpse of this woman. If only there had been more people dining there at the time, then someone else would have noticed her. Unfortunately, it was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. The quiet time between lunch and dinner in any restaurant. I know, of course the place was almost empty. Is what you expect. Certainly, 2 p.m. is neither here nor there in terms of a time to eat. I wonder if there was a reason why the victim was eating at that time of day, and why he was eating alone. Yes, Your Excellency, there was indeed a reason. There was? This was found in the victim's jacket pocket. What is that, Counsel? It is a medical report card, Your Excellency. It would seem that the victim had an appointment at a clinic prior to visiting the restaurant. Hota Clinic is... Really? Hota Clinic is... Isn't the current one Hottie Clinic or something like that? Do you mean there's an ancestor of Hottie Clinic now just Hota Clinic? That creepy doctor? Yes, there would indeed appear to be an entry for the date in question. 19th November, noon to past 1 p.m. Hot Clinic. I wonder if everybody in the clinic is hot. The very day of the incident. So the victim went for a late lunch following his appointment. The explanation couldn't be more simple. The prosecution felt no need to submit this evidence before, as it really has no bearing on the case. I wonder. What do you think, Ryonosuke? Well, it is hard to see how it could be related, really. Remember, you can request for it to be entered into the court record as evidence if you think it could be useful. Sorry about that, chat. Should I ask for Dr. Wilson's medical report card to be submitted as evidence or not? I want it. I want everything.
Yes.
Give me his shoes. Yes, if I may, I'd like to ask for that medical report card to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency. On what grounds? The court has already heard conclusive witness testimony. Additional evidence will be extraneous. Not to mention that the victim's movements prior to his arrival at the restaurant are of no concern.
Objection!
On the ground of because I say so. Whether or not they are of concern is up to us to decide. We have a right to explore all possible avenues. Well, Kazuma said, screw that, give it to me. I beg your pardon? You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request for the submission of evidence. Very well, the court will grant the defense request. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. Youngsters these days are forever asserting their right. Young people and their right. It's a most disturbing trend. Next to floating on the river and not dying. What we need right now is new clues. Let me go check this out real quick. Oh, I can't look at it though. We have to explore things from every possible angle, even if they don't seem relevant at first. Right, I hear you. You can conspire to prolong this trial as much as you like, but it's the day after the festival already for you. Or perhaps you've forgotten that these witness testimonies leave no room for doubt. Feel free to reiterate for the accused, Korakuta-san. Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself. Yes, he was. So you actually saw that with your own eyes, didn't you? The victim, Dr. Wilson, dining alone. That I did. Forgive me for the position I placed you in. So the testimonies of the old man, the soldier, and the waiter, and the baby all agree on that point. Isn't that interesting? And let us not forget the incontestable evidence we had to support their statements as well. I get it, he was eating alone. I want steak now, chat. Somebody feed me steak right now. Oh wait, what am I talking about? I have mini Slim Jims right here. I can just eat right now. As can clearly be seen, there is only a single beefsteak on the victim's table. A meal for one. It could be a meal for three if you put it that way. No. The antique dealer, the sergeant, and the waiter who testified before. It's not impossible that they're all lying. But if so, then why? If I'm perfectly honest, I have absolutely no idea. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I am crazy. Am I crazy, chat? Therefore, no one other than the black uniform cadet could have dispatched the Englishman over and out.
Yes!
Why aren't you telling the truth? What? What did you say, cadet? I clearly remember. There was a woman sitting across the table from the professor. Perhaps one of you might not have noticed. But for both of you to have failed to see the professor's dining companion, it's just not possible. They're looking away at each other. Unfortunately for you, Defendant Naruhodo, it's not just a case of these two witnesses alone. Sorry? The waiter, whose testimony the court heard earlier, clearly stated the same thing. He also said that the victim was alone. That's right! Precisely, in other words, you are the sole proponent of this phantom lady. But I... If such a woman were indeed present at the scene, the prosecution demands to see proof. And if no such proof exists, the prosecution demands that no further mention of this phantom woman be made. It is a blatant waste of the court's time. There's nothing I can say to that. Ouchie, 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 ouchie. Excellent work, Ryonosuke. We've gleaned some new info now. Well, yes, but I don't feel like it changes much. I can't see that it brings any real discrepancies to light. I wouldn't be so sure. Let me see that medical report card you got before. Oh, you mean this? Rips it in half. Yes, this is a brand new piece of evidence, so perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail. How exactly? Open it up. You'll notice that some pieces of evidence bear a magnifying glass. These are the ones you may examine. Oh, so now I can look at it. Gotcha. Use the right stick to turn it over. To rotate the evidence in all directions and examine it from all angles. And then I can use the magnifying glass to search around. I love how all that is going on and Kazuma's just staring at me. You can move the crosshairs around to hunt for clues that may have been missed before. If the crosshairs start to pulsate, you can investigate it if they start pulsating. So chat, remember, if I start pulsating, that means I have an issue. So partner, I think you should take a closer look at this medical report card. See if there isn't anything new to be learned by examining it in more detail. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Alright, I got you now. I got it. Stop talking about controls. I gotta look for evidence that looks sus. 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 Required for every visit. Doctor Clinic. Oh, wow, that's different. I'm actually blocking his face. I should probably move myself, right, chat? But I don't know where. It says Hotta Clinic on this medical report card. I hate clinics. Almost as much as I hate hospitals and surgeries. Aren't they all the same? When I was 5, I caught the only cold I've ever had in my life. And I remember, even though I felt awful already, I had to have this hideous injection in my right arm. Ugh, I'll never forget it. Never in my whole life. Most people will give their right arm to have had only one cold in their whole life. Anyway, I don't think this is a clinic where they treat people for illnesses like that. Let's keep looking for clues. We don't want to miss anything. We got to learn a little more about Mr. Ryunosuke. Oh, what's this? It's a dentist. Oh, it looks like this medical report card was first issued quite some time ago. It's probably a record of long-term treatment, that's why. With a family doctor, I imagine. Yeah, Cytrix, I got that. Apparently the Hotta Clinic has been there for generations. Do we get to go to it and see the ancestor of the creepy doctor? Well, I can't imagine going to a doctor, I mean. As long as I'm alive, I'm never consulting one. Visit your doctor as soon as possible, chat. Do not listen to Mr. Naruhodo. Well, if you were dead, there'd be no point. So you don't like doctors then? Why would you? They make you drink horrible tasting medicine, they give you painful injections, they say ah, and then they demand lots of money for you for the privilege. All when you're at your lowest ebb. Oh yeah, the money thing is true though. Cytrix, fake doctor, real doctor, come on, I can be a doctor too dressed like this. I can be a children's doctor saying, I'm the dentist, I'm the sloth dentist. Give me your teeth. You sound like a model patient, with a bad case of stubbornness no less, for which the only cure is very bitter medicine indeed. Healthy curiosity, I'm getting achievements like there's no tomorrow. Oh wait, let's go check this out. We can open it. Huh. I can't read a single thing. Let's have a look. This is some kind of medical history. Ah, and there's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction of molar with topical anesthesia. Extraction of molar? You mean he had a tooth taken out? It would seem so. Just before the incident, he had a bad tooth removed. Perhaps they used laughing gas. That's the most modern practice in the West for pain relief. Yes, I've heard of this anesthesia, although it's hard to believe there's anything that can actually stop you feeling pain. The best medicine is laughing. Ah, there's a cautionary note from the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drink besides water for 3 hours post-procedure until anesthetic effects have passed. Oh, so he wasn't the one eating. Really? Sounds like info worth bearing in mind. Gotcha. So he wasn't eating from that. With this new info, the meaning of that one particular statement totally changes. So I think it's time we listen to the testimony again, don't you? Definitely. Yeah, the trophy system in this game is actually crazy. I like it, I really like it. Hold on, I'm trying to make sure which one is it. Dining all by himself. I think it's right here. Let's go present this. We found out that he shouldn't be eating or drinking anything, so the thing is, the food belongs to the other party.
Yes!
Well, I think, about what are you withering, lad? Call yourself a lawyer? I wish I could, but first and foremost here, I'm the accused. Ryunosuke, everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it, but I'm perfect. Thanks, Kazuma. I can see it quite clearly in that cross-examination you just carried out. When you raised your hand straight up like that, so purposefully, you knew exactly what it was you wanted to say. Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking. Alright, and thanks for the advice. Kodaguta-san, this is a medical report card belonging to the victim. I see. And I don't see. What of it, boy? Comparing what is written on this report card with your witness statement, something clearly doesn't add up.
Objection!
That slap. Dear me, ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. Have you forgotten my words so soon, you amateur? Sorry, what? You are not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateurish drivel. But let's see if I can explain it in words you might understand. It was after 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before the time is completely irrelevant. But that's, Remember, Ryunosuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make your point. Your Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There is surely no need to prolong this trial further. The witness testimonies the court has heard has been clear and concise. This medical report card has no bearing on the matter at all, for the simple reason that there is no one else besides the pale-faced pupil who could... Oh wow, that just skipped on its own. This medical report card has nothing to do with the case? Do you really believe that? What? That opera has half petrified me, boy! Of course I believe it! How could it possibly be relevant? Perhaps because Hota Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic. Oh, is Ryunosuke actually standing up? A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me? Perhaps if I told you that the victim had just had a tooth extracted. What's this now? And furthermore, if I told you that as a result, the victim had been forbidden from eating. Just what you're trying to say, Cadet? He had orders not to eat, so what? It's all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off. What? No, that can't. Kodaguta-san. What, boy? What? As you just heard, when he was killed sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all. No. Additionally, there's more. You have assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. Oh! Now there's a slam I wanted to hear, but that cannot possibly be the case. Ugh. Because the victim, as we now know, had just had one of his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effects of the anesthetic. Ah! Expertly done, partner. He did it. Our boy did it. What is this nonsense, you little upstart? These are baseless accusations. Just look at this photographic evidence. You can clearly see the plate of food at the victim's table.
Objection!
Oh, that was Kazuma. I thought that was Ryunosuke. Use your head. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Or can't you follow the logic? How dare you? I think it's fair to say that the tables in this restaurant case have turned. Wouldn't you agree, Ryunosuke? Yes, most definitely. So having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. Which leaves us with one very crucial conundrum. Who in fact was eating the pictured beef steak? Sorry, I was shedding again. The court will hear the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I assure you're ready, counsel. Wait, puzzle? Where's Professor Layton when you need him? Counsel? Mmm. 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 There we go. Oh, that means me, doesn't it? Alright, the answer to this question is going to be pivotal. Pivotal. This is the start of you turning this trial around. Show them what you're made of. Got it. So, the person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been... me. The victim himself, the two witnesses, and as of yet unknown third party. That's my guess. Obviously, it can only have been someone else who was sitting at the table.
Objection!
You will not let this go, will you? There was no such person.
Yes!
There was, because I saw her. When the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. Yet we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on his table. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was somebody else there eating it. We have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that these witness testimonies are unreliable. If the court decides to push through a ruling at this stage, we will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial relentlessly. Kazuma? Are you insane? You would take on the government? Don't worry, counsel. I have no issue with you. What do you mean? I have issue with them! Those two witnesses in the stand! What? What are you talking about? We have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. So if it now turns out that the two of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies, obviously you will be charged with perjury. Perjury? And since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing. Complicit? Murder? No! My goodness, Kazuma, my man. Negative. There was no mention of this at the tactical meeting. I was just following orders. That's right, as the man says. We finally turned it around, shall we? Finally turned it around? Just say you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they told us. Someone just spilled the beans. Oh. What? What did you just say, Kurokuta-san? Oh, no. You were just following orders? Now hold on, lad. I was, say you never saw the gentlewoman? When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim with a lady from overseas? What?
Objection!
What is the meaning of all this? These witnesses gave false statements? Is this true, you pair? Oh. Just one simple slip of the tongue. This is getting crazy. Counsel, explain what's going on here. It's painfully clear now you try to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth. Absolutely not. The prosecution knows nothing of this. Then who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouth shut? Well, oh, that's it's classified. So you're prepared to be tried as a conspirator to this murder, are you? You wouldn't. This can't be happening. Ryunosuke, judging from the way they're reacting to this, I'd say they were sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Aochi had any idea about it. What are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there were only a handful of possibilities. It could only have been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose. Well, any ideas about who might be behind this? If we can affirm who tried to silence these witnesses, then we can continue our pursuit. Hey, Alex Gamer, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a long while, but I hope you're doing okay. So we need to name whoever it was that tried to make these witnesses keep their mouths shut. Of course, we'll need evidence before we make any firm accusations. Evidence that proves whoever it was really did wield his or her... Evidence that proves whoever it was really did wield his or her power here. But how? How can we possibly... Remember how we made progress before? Before? We examined this piece of evidence in more detail and found a new clue as a result. Oh yes, that's right. Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it? We need to re-examine everything and make sure there's nothing we've missed. There's no time to lose. Oh, you mean the business card we just got? Chief Inspector Satoru Hosan... Police corruption. Police corruption is going on. Well, that's unexpected. What is? Look, do you see it says the witness's name here? Satoru Hosonaga? Well, yes, business cards do tend to show the person's name. That's sort of the point. It's not the name that's unexpected, it's his job title. His job? Oh, Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. You enjoyed everything about the first game and currently playing through the second one. Yeah, I'm enjoying this one too, it's cool. Inspector, what on earth? I have no idea. But let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence if they're wielding it somehow here. That's insane! We found out some more truth. If it's proven that these witnesses have been manipulated, I assure you the penalty will be severe. Please, wait, Your Excellency! I had no idea about any of this. I swear to every Shinto god. I knew nothing! And what does the defense have to say about all this? Well, Your Excellency. No time to think. I'm just going to have to close my eyes and shout out the first name that comes into my head. Oh, here comes the dark screen of truth. Besides the prosecution, the only person with the necessary influence to manipulate the witnesses is... Satoru Hosonaga.
Yes!
Well, surely that would be Satoru Hosonaga-san. Hosonaga-san, the waiter who took the stand earlier?
Objection!
Poppycock! Watch your mouth. What possible reason would the waiter have to make these witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not possibly have that level of influence. For once, I would agree with you. Didn't we just look over the evidence together, Kazuma? If that is the man truly were a waiter. Oh, there it is. What? If he truly were? Come on, Ryunosuke, time to hit this court with the truth! The truth about Satoru Hosonaga-san's real identity, as proven by this evidence. No wonder Hosonaga-san was so... He was like scared about giving the business card.
Yes!
The plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question? I agree it shows a great detail of attention to detail, but... I'm not sure we can conclude anything. Oh, sorry, Your Excellency, that's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's of interest. That's right, we don't say the front, we say the back of the back. So if you want to look somebody in front of you, you gotta say, can I look at the back of you? The back of you, please. I beg your pardon? Or perhaps I should have said the front? Yes, it's the front of the back of the card. That's where the telling detail is. Would somebody please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say? Hosonaga-san sketched a plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of his business card. Also, poor Ryunosuke. The front of that business card reveals the man in question's profession, his true profession. The waiter's profession? But that's surely... Good gracious! That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. What? The waiter is a police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before? Sorry, just needed some tea in me. Some good old cold tea. The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power. Absolute power as far as regular civilians are concerned. So witnesses dare in the stand. Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you seen this foreign gentlewoman at the scene? Well, Oh! Who holded it? Oh! Hosonaga-san! Inspector Hosonaga! What is this evil final boss music? I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized there was a possibility. I can't believe somebody flipped over the card. Oh my goodness, my plan has been revealed. If only I didn't sketch on the back of my card. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well... Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once! Of course, here you are. By the way, Chad, how would you feel if the judge, like the judge ancestor, is the same looking judge throughout all of history? Like, imagine it was the same bald-headed, big-bearded judge. I would laugh if the judge just looked the same, but it's actually a different judge. Or maybe it's an immortal judge that lives throughout centuries. The same judge. Yes, I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card. I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was an unusually careless mistake. So, you mean to say you really are a detective? But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Ah, of course! Your salary must be Your salary must be terrible! Oh, I love that. I was working undercover. Undercover? Yes, there have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents? That would be classified police information which I am not at liberty to divulge. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to this case of homicide. Very well then, Inspector Hosonaga, but you will elaborate on one point for the court. Of course, Your Excellency. We have just heard new info from the two witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. If that is indeed true, clearly you would also have been aware of this person's presence, having served at the table in question. To be honest, this is different from the fan translations. How so? I'm curious how different the fan translations would have done it. The thing is, imagine if I were playing the fan translations, then this game was announced, and I'd be like, are you serious? I'm glad I waited. I'm so glad I waited. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner. Therefore, I am led to assume that in your professional capacity as a police officer, you require those witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct? At least you can skip episodes. I mean, true, so it's like I can play fan-translated episode 1 and then official translation 2, I guess, yeah. But I can't believe we finally got these games officially, chat. It took so long, but we finally get to see this series as it's intended to be. I really hope that we get more Phoenix Wright stuff, I really hope so. The series must stay alive, chat. The series must stay alive. Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable! As I suspected. Oh. So there was a third party chat. As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair, and beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady, whom I guessed to be an English woman. So the truth comes out. I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the bureau. It was then that I received some special orders. Special orders? You mean to say, remove the English woman from the scene at once? It was made clear that the English woman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. But what if this English woman was the killer? I think it would be in everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea. The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. An Englishman has been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishwoman as the primary suspect, well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question. So that's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case. But it's not right. By the way, chat, is the audio, not the audio, the voices that I'm doing, are they okay? I'm not a voice actor, but I'm doing my best here. Are you fine with me doing these voices? Or I can just go, ah, the whole time. One possibility does spring to mind. What do you mean, Kazuma? You mean your university is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain? Voice say okay. I love how the okay is just working, thank you, chat. And I'm fairly certain that one of them, studying in the medical faculty's research lab, is a young English woman. Could it be that same English woman? What? Everybody's freaking out. You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. You mean... When I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first. Then the court demands that you name the lady in question at once, Inspector. The English woman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Jeziel Brett? Is that how you pronounce it? Jeziel Brett? She is indeed a foreign student studying in the research lab of Yume University's medical faculty. What? What is happening here? Holy flip, he is tall. I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene, and ordered these witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimonies. It must now be up to your excellency to decide how to deal with the situation. Very well, my thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise. Namely, that the victim was dining alone. However, as we have now discovered that this premise is false, it would be a desecration of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point.
Objection!
But your excellency, that would mean missing the noon deadline of a ruling in order to send the telegraphic report to Great Britain. Our own government will surely be very displeased by such actions. Calm yourself, counsel. I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings of my courtroom. Inspector Hosonaga? Yes, sir? You will locate this Jeziel Brett and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency. At once, your excellency. But that means you'll be going against the special orders you were given from the police bureau. As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So it won't be a problem. Oh. It is a problem if he's dying. Nothing will get in my way. Poor Hosonaga, is he actually dying? It's sad. Court will adjourn briefly. The prosecution must call the English student Jezail Brett to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear? Yes. Your Excellency. Good, then we will have a 30-minute recess before reconvening. He's just frail? I was frail at first, you know, slapping the table, and then I did that big boom, and I'm like, yeah, there we go. To be continued. Next time. I joked though. Wow. Let's see, there's about... Why are there 20 save files here? What the flip? That's a lot of save files. Do I really need every single one? I need every single one, don't I? November 22nd, 11:38 a.m. Supreme Court. Defendant Antichambrev Cinco. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. That was superb. Oh, my heart was in my mouth the entire time. I felt it beating in there. Better to be safe than sorry. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there, you were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it, it's terrifying. If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. Imagine the game ends after this. You have a choice. Continue being a lawyer. Not be a lawyer. Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your Phantom Lady at last. Ms. Jezail Brett, a student from Great Britain. Is she? That's what I'm trying to tell her. That was what I was trying to tell everybody that from the start. Dr. Wilson was not alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I'm sure of. Phoenix Wright Fisherman? Alright, Chef. Funny question for everybody. If Phoenix Wright did not become a lawyer, what job would he have instead? Give me the wrong answers only. All wrong answers. Yes, I can see that. So, about this young gentlewoman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. I was just on my way out the restaurant myself, then on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor, and just after I bent down and picked it up... Hey, there is no McDonald's in Phoenix Wright world, it's WickDonald's, okay? Phoenix Wright actress? Why actress? Phoenix Wright, beautiful maiden. Phoenix Wright, princess. Phoenix Wright, cat. I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me, looking as white as a sheet, and he bundled me in some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Bundled? Wait, what? He put me into a pantry? Fast thinking by the detective, he apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay. Yes, and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area. When was that ever brought up that I was shoved into a pantry? Ah, there you are. Well done, both of you. Ah, Professor. Professor Mikotoba. Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Yes, it seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so that I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Our modern country is still in its infancy. Our justice system even more so. Which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I wanted to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, if I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life, I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway. What? What are you saying, Kazuma? So that's your stance. I was afraid you feel that way. I must kill you now. Kazuma? Well then. It looks like it all comes down to you, young man. They're all staring down. Why are they staring at me? It's scary. To me? Yes, you need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, I was the young English woman. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMA. And it was I who invited him. Oh, I see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. But let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. But I've no doubt you pair will put up a good fight right to the last. Best of luck. Thank you. Now then. I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need. Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama. Kazuma-sama? Huh. Defend Naruhodo! Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside of the courtroom at once. It's time. Let's get back to it, Aibo. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow before those old fossils know what hits them. Oh yeah, everybody else is old and we're the only two young guys there, right? Kazuma? What? Thank you. Really? What for? Well, if you hadn't said you believed me, then I'm fairly sure I already have been found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer and as a friend. Coming from you, that means a lot. That means the whole world, Kazuma-san. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really going to give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. So this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. Let's go! Alright then, I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria on University Street. Sukiyaki with an extra large portion, of course. Fun time! Let's go. We're back. The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Aochi, have you managed to subpoena the witness? Yes, Your Excellency. Against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government. Sorry. Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. It's nothing to worry about. It's highly unlikely that the good relations we forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. Will you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down and our nation founders? Again, terribly sorry. If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. Wow, you really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke. What do you mean? A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan or of England? Shut up! Shut up, you jumped up rookie boy! You and your friend know nothing. Nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in. By aligning ourselves with this great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures. That's disgusting. I won't deny that I'm no expert. I'm just a student, and one who could arguably study harder too. But standing here now in our Supreme Court, there's one thing I feel very strongly about. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. Ugh. Well said, Ryunosuke, despite the wide-eyed look of terror. You little brats! Thank you, Council. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Jezile Brett. Yes. Your Excellency! Let's see, who is she? What does she look... Oh my goodness, what is that? Oh my goodness, what is that tail? Oh. Well, what a delight is it to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan and from such a distant land. Tea, someone bring English tea. In England, no discussions take place without tea. I'm thirsty. Is that true? No idea. They're thirsty right now. They want that tea to quench their thirst right now. So, can we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court? Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I have been working undercover as the head waiter at La Carnival, but... Yes, we all know about you already. Inspector Hosonaga, warrior manners. In England, it's always ladies first. Is that true? No idea. Oh, goodness. More importantly, a little earlier today, you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of. Oh, yes, I think I didn't I? Yet your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Ryunosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are surely lacking. Guilty. So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please? She's a phantom thief! It's Beauty Thief! Oh. The flip is that language? What? Why? That was script? Who the heck reads script? Who does script anymore? Nobody does script anymore. That's disgusting. I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but... What? Omelette du fromage. Omelette du fromage. The lady says her name is Jezile Brett. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student currently enrolled in UMaine University's medical faculty. Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet tones of the delightful language of the British people. I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird's song. As far as I can tell, the detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Yes, I agree. Yeah, you obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? Nor you. You've clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Ryunosuke. The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called La Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? Omelette du fromage. Omelette du fromage. She says yes. That was not all yes. This could take some time. How did all that text only say yes? So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese. Omelette du fromage. Omelette du fromage. She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately. Interesting when you're the one who engineered her escape. I was just following orders from the bureau. See you, Firebrand. Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print? Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your resplendent eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps? Omelette du fromage. Apparently, it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say... Yes, it would appear the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused, standing right there in this courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood. Order in court. Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement. She just said words. Calm down, dude. Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is. Unfortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify, if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described. Omelette du fromage. Fantastic. Let's go. Witness testimony. A frightening and sorrowful sight. Ah, yes. I wish I was English. I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor wasn't able to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beef steak. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor and they got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. That doesn't help. Anybody can hide a gun in that big hat of yours. This is a condemning
Yes!
Oh. No, I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all.
Objection!
Quiet, you filthy wrench. Look at you, you black-hearted blackguard, and look at this snow-white angel. I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine whose words the court is going to believe. Ugh. You're still making the same mistakes, Ryunosuke. Hold on, let me just fix up my head, chat. You mustn't blurt out when you're goated like that. That is a lesson you need to learn. But he's so annoying. Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and the two witnesses who testified before, and reported back to the bureau. It was decided that Ms. Brett was not involved, so I let her go. The testimonies of the last two witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so, on the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. She is just a big gun underneath. As you can see, there is nowhere about her person where she could conceal a firearm. Are you serious? I can think of many places where she can hide it. 1, her hair. 2, her bosom. 3, her hat. 4, the tail. I would think she could hide a gun almost anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to. Exactly. Unless and until the precise location where the witness is to have hidden a weapon can be shown, this is moot. There were no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Those are the witness's own words in the matter. Oh, that's ridiculous. If only I was allowed to lift up her dress, I could... No, don't do that. That's not a good thing to do, Ryunosuke. No. Don't think about doing anything rash, Ryunosuke. But I didn't fire the gun I picked up. There must have been another gun there that day. This is going on the out of context account. I have an out of context account? Since when? When did that update? You're right about that, which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we will need to pull the testimony apart. Oh, the Ace Attorney got a context. Oh. She smiled. Oh, yes, Your Excellency. Cross-examination time, got it. Let's do it. Hey, Ollie Puppy, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. After 2 p.m., in fact. That's really quite a late lunch, isn't it?
Objection!
You don't keep up with the latest fashions from Britain, do you? Late luncheons are en vogue, isn't that right? No. What? 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 She can clearly say no in script. A decisive English no has quite a sting to it. How'll she say it? Yeah. The gentlewoman is currently working in the victim's research lab, it seems. So it was apparently a daily occurrence that they would lunch together. Just fancy? No. But on the day in question, the victim had another appointment at the clinic first. Yes, which we can prove from the medical report card that was submitted as evidence earlier. That's right. Miss Brett and the victim went to lunch following the victim's treatment, which is why it was so late. Yes, that all makes perfect sense. Such wonderful logic. What a shining example of English intelligence this fine gentlewoman is. So you both arrived at the restaurant. What happened next? I gotta say, chat, to those who have played further or have beaten the first game at all, does the game get more crazy than this? Because this game, like, look at this witness, what the heck? The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beef steak.
Yes.
He was unable to eat, you say? And that was because he just had a tooth removed at Hada Clinic, correct? That's right. You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering. Was Miss Brett aware of that fact? It seems so, yes. She heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment. So that would mean that it was you who ate the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett? Is there a pun on her name, Jezile Brett? I'm trying to figure out the pun in Jezile Brett. That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the event. Exactly as it was left. Dear me, what a harrowing experience. To have traveled to a distant land on the far side of the world and be embroiled in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady. I will kiss you. I will crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to this terrible plight. So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all. That's right, other than some carbonated water. Just water? Yes, the professor was unable to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. So it appears that the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each. They each raised a glass of carbonated water. The thing is, chat, I tried carbonated water. It makes me feel lightheaded. I don't know why. I think it's just the bubbles going in my brain like... What do you think, Ryunosuke, about the witness's last statement? Yeah, let's keep it. Oh, no, wait, I want to hear the slam, not the slap. That last statement of yours, Miss Brett, has a profound bearing on this case. Well, how fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing? The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony. Well, sidestepped, counsel. I really hope Ryunosuke gets character development, and by the last case of this game, he's more confident and ready. Kindly repeat what you said to be added to your official testimony. Gladly, she said. She didn't say anything. That was brilliant, Kazuma. I'm gonna remember that one. Which one? The significance will become apparent when the time is right. I could really use that phrase. I'd hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryunosuke. What if he gets less confident as the game goes on? He just doesn't show up in court at all? We just get a game over before the case begins? Oh, episode 2! What do you mean I got a game over? I ordered a beefsteak for myself and the professor and I said cheers over a glass of carbonated water. So both of you and the professor drank this carbonated water, did you? Yes. Being the waiter, I poured the 2 glasses myself. I clearly remember doing so. Except you're actually a detective. And the beefsteak, that was for you, Miss Brett? The lady says that she heard it was not customary to eat beef here until Japan opened its doors to the world. Yes, that's true. What a frightful place is the lady's opinion. And I've heard it's not customary to eat sashimi in Great Britain. Now that's frightful. Sword sashimi from Miitopia? Every country has its own cuisine. As long as people have food to eat, what does it matter what it is? True, come to think of it. The first time I tried carbonated water, it was much more of a shock than the first time I tried beef. But anyway, back to this witness's statement. Somehow, I'm looking right at the screen. There's something out of place in what she's saying. Ryunosuke, don't look at the camera. Do not look at the camera. We need to pounce on even the slightest thing now, because you never know what might lead us to our goal. Our goal of turning this trial around. Understood, Kazuma. So that one is weird, isn't it? I think I know which one it is. I think I know how it's weird. It's because... Hold on, not that photo. There's only one glass there. There's only one glass. So that's the weird thing. So let's go present that. There's only one glass.
Yes!
That's it. Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. That it was exactly as it was left. That is correct, the lady says. Slap. Well, that is, it's odd. Very odd. Dear me, what's odd is the defense's inability to express itself. Ryunosuke, what is it about the print that looks odd to you? Well, obviously, it's the cheers! The cheers? Miss Brett just told us that she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1. Ugh. You're quite right, Counselor. There's only 1 glass pictured here.
Objection!
Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over miniature? What possible difference does the presence or absence of a glass make on the case?
Objection!
Miniature, you say? Could it be that the detective here removed the glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence? Of course not. I would never do something so reckless. But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or are you going to try to tell me you can only clink with 1 glass? I mean, if I have a metal plate in my head, I can clink with myself. Clink! You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table. Have you been stealing? Oh, that was Brett that's talking. That's Brett. Inspector, what did the lady say? It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table. What? It was also terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I've been there at all, she's saying. Good gracious. She's being so sus. What? She can actually talk in English? Very fancy English. Sorry. But the thing is, the R's look like V's. So it sounds like she's saying, Solvy. I'm so sorry. How sorry can you be? I'm very sorry. There, as I assured the court before, this is of no consequence at all. Oh, please. We must remember that this student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who could blame her for concealing a glass or two in her state of disarray? That's absurd! Oh, really? So do we take it that you are now going to accuse this vulnerable, young, and beautiful woman of mischief? What? No. This can't be put down to mischief. I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. It would seem that she slipped it into a small handbag she was No pockets, she says, huh? No pockets in her dress, huh? A handbag, you say? Yes, Your Excellency, a small handheld pouch commonly carried by well-to-do women in England. So the beautiful lady has very graciously explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on the case. This student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning, but in the end it comes down to nothing. Sorry, I keep fixing my head. No more pretentious accusations. You have wasted enough time already. Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed the glass. I think henceforth we can consider the matter to have no bearing on the case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement? Well, I don't know really. If you want to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show that it has some deeper significance. Yes, you're right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. If there's a deeper significance there, it's the handbag. She brought a handbag. Wait, the lady put the glass in her handbag, you say? Yes, do try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlewomen carry handbags for small items. Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag, in which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. You're right. Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that too. What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard? It's really very simple. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire that gun, we can deduce there must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will. You can't seriously be suggesting... Inspector Hasanaga. Yes? Did you or did you not search Miss Jezile Brett's handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir, I did not. As I thought. By the way, since we're about to hit 3 hours, I hope everybody out there is doing A-okay. Thanks for watching the stream. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag. No! She has a big tail. Order! What is the meaning of this, Inspector? The meaning of what, Prosecutor Alchi? Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations. Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. You'll never see it. Do you think so, Kazuma? Hasanaga, you alright? It's coming out way worse. Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly, you have no faith in the police. Ugh. As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting, simply because it was unnecessary. Unnecessary in what way? I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I had completely forgotten about. This photographic print. Oh. This print is of a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. The handbag is visible. As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag. Well, I never. You can see right through to what's inside. Wait. What is that right there on his wrist? That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like these are the height of fashion in London at the moment. So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly, so there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. Ugh. As you can see, there is nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. How dare they smile at me? Thank you for helping to prove that, Naruhodo-san. Oh, wow, he actually backed against the wall and hurt himself. Ouch. Inspector Hosonaga, you will submit that print as evidence at once. Certainly, Your Excellency. But what about the print on the wrist? What about that? That's looking pretty weird. No, we are not done cross-examining yet. Like, what? Oh. Yeah, what is that? Huh. I think you've had long enough to cross-examine the witness counsel. Ryunosuke, no! Wow. The court has now been shown considerable evidence. As the photographic print just submitted into the court record appears to have no further significance, I am satisfied that there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Indeed, and there is only one logical conclusion, that the pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of the crime. Oh, he's really slumped. No, just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around, I'm in a worse situation than I was at the start. Kazuma? Kazuma? I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue. What? You mean this is it? I must say you put up quite a fight for a rookie student, but the weak are meat while the strong eat. You are wasting your time. There is no way to defeat true justice. In fact, you can chew on to your heart's content from the inside of your cell. This can't be happening. Am I really going to be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit? And Kazuma, his dream of going to study abroad in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Kazuma, what? Is there really no chance now of turning this trial around? You heard the judge. There's nothing about that last photograph that detective produced that we can contest. Which means there's no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue. Very well, I will now proceed immediately to the ruling. It seems we will be able to report to the British government on time after all. That smug little... Ryunosuke Naruhodo, having considered all of the evidence placed before me, I hereby
Yes!
Ryunosuke? Wait, Your Excellency! Ryunosuke? I don't think you can rule on this case yet.
Objection!
This amateurishness is getting tedious. When His Excellency deems that the trial is over, gives his ruling. That is the most basic protocol of the courtroom.
Yes!
Your Excellency, just a moment ago you said this. As the photographic print just submitted appears to have no further significance, there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Now, that means that there was a problem with the evidence, some significant detail, I mean, then ruling on the case at this time would be out of the question.
Objection!
This is blatant straw clutching. Look at this print. All it shows is the handbag the gentlewoman was carrying on the day in question. There can be no problem with this evidence. You better know what you're doing, Ryunosuke. I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court's scrutiny. However, I fail to see how we can glean any new info from this handbag. My thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes. Yes, I am desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. It's a cough. There's something about this photograph which doesn't seem right. If only I could put my finger on it. Very well, I will grant the defense one final opportunity. What? But be warned that if I am unsatisfied by your response here, the trial will be over with immediate effect. Do I make myself clear? Yes, Your Excellency. So, take another look at the photographic print Inspector Hosonaga submitted before. You will identify for the court where in this print we see the detail to which you have alluded. It has to be right here. This print on his wrist.
Yes!
Look at this, here. There's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist. That is true. It looks almost like a burn of some description. Oh.
Objection!
Dear me, I was pondering what new piffle you would come out with. A burn, you say, on the victim's wrist? Clearly that has nothing whatsoever to do with the lady's handbag. Yes, that is a burn mark, you're right. Go on, Inspector. The police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report. What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered this burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either. Do we, though? The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of this mark. It looks like a bowl. However, as Alchi points out, unless a firm connection to the case can be shown, I cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this burn. What is she saying now? Excuse me, Your Excellency. It would seem Ms. Brett has a lunch appointment with the dean and other university staff. She would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now. Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway. Or? What you're thinking on this, Ryunosuke? Do you believe this burn does have something to do with the case? To be honest, I'm not really sure. But if I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging in the hope that I might uncover something useful. Yes, you're right. I am? Surprisingly, if we can just link that burn to the case, if we can do that, we might be able to prise this shutting door back open again. Just give up, counsel. You can't possibly hope to do that. Indeed, I'm afraid that without evidence, I cannot allow you to pursue what is little more than conjecture. But if we had evidence that irrefutably linked the burn on the victim's wrist to the case, then you would allow it? I would, yes. To tell you the truth, I hadn't noticed that burn. But as soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brett's face. Really? I have to find some link between that burn and the case. Also, Ryunosuke is leaning over to see the drained color in her face. Like, is her face really draining of color? It is. Whew. Let's go. This is the moment of truth. It's time to find some evidence that proves what the burn really means. So then, the defense will now present its evidence to the court. The evidence that demonstrates an inextricable connection between the victim's burn and the trial. It looks like a bowl. Let's see, what looks very bowl-like? Is it... Oh! Oh, wait, it's right there. The bowl mark is on the bowl.
Yes!
It's on the bowl. What's this, Council? Yet another print? Yes, Your Excellency. I believe photographic prints are an amazing invention. When we humans look at a scene, we miss things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded forevermore. Do hurry up, rookie. What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further really would be quite inexcusable. Actually, we may need you to stay with us a little longer if you don't mind, Miss Brett. No. You see, it's very clearly visible in this other photograph. How did the victim come to have that unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here forevermore. What? How?
Objection!
You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. If that's your game, then let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean. What is it in this photograph that explains the reason for the victim's burn? This right here. That bowl.
Yes!
Benny the Bull. The beefsteak? Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on. The plate? Your Excellency, are you alright? As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I would guess it's some sort of trademark of La Carnival. This emblem on the plate. And the victim's burn. Oh, that confidence lamb are exactly the same shape! Ah! Ryunosuke, you genius! You're spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant. Ooh.
Objection!
But even if that is the case, we can't know if it happened on the day in question or not. It could have been the day before, or the day before that. It most likely happened at some other unrelated time. Well,
Objection!
Sadly, Prosecutor Aochi, the chances of that are extremely slim. Thanks. Why? The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaga? I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly. But... I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense just pointed out. This was no mild burn, that's for sure. Can you be more specific, Inspector? Well, let's see. If the plate was around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds. Ouch. It's inconceivable that the victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain then. I've been investigating at the restaurant for several weeks already, but I've not heard anyone scream at all. As a head waiter of La Carnival, I can testify to that without hesitation. But you're a detective, not a waiter! Not a waiter!
Yes!
Pixels by night, waiter. There you have it, something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burnt themselves on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. There is no question of that. And yet Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream, not on that day or any before it. That's right. And the strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. What are you suggesting? Well, if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds that day... Wait, wasn't he under the effects of the anesthetic? He was under the funny haha gas, wasn't he? That would be beyond careless, I think, Counsel. Then the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antiques dealer, all of us would without any question have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Alchi? Well, yes, I suppose. So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? I almost don't believe it. Ryunosuke, you don't think? Can it really be true? I never dreamt we arrive at a conclusion like this, but I'm starting to think that maybe we've been led into a terrible trap. Have we? There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of this apparent impossibility. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson hadn't noticed the burn, was asleep. Was he already dead? No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. That's clearly impossible, apart from in one particular situation. Counsel, are you suggesting? Yes, it's only possible if the man was already dead. Yeah, already? Dead? Oh. Knowing what we know now, it's the only possible explanation. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead. That's madness! This isn't madness! Order, please. Counsel, explain this absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot. That's right. That's absolutely right, Your Excellency. This is just another ridiculous ploy by the rookie student, but clearly, he has no grasp of the facts.
Objection!
No, Prosecutor Alchi, it's you who has no grasp of the facts. I beg your pardon? As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered that burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Your Excellency, the court must hear it from this witness again. If it's true, as we now believe that the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard, it's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it. Incredible. I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett, that you will have to forget your luncheon engagement. But Your Excellency, the justice system in our country may be in its infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I am prepared to pass judgment. Thank you, Your Excellency. Oh, Miss Brett? She smiled. What was that smile? Wait. She can actually talk. Yes, of course. I mean, I'd be delighted to help. Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours. She actually can be English. Miss Brett, you speak Japanese? Well, of course I do. I am studying in your country after all. But then why have you been speaking through an interpreter until now? My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones as much as possible. Ugh. Something tells me, relations aren't that great. Vulgar tones? But it seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of the English gentleman. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicating with you all on your own level. Oh, well, you are the epitome of a true English gentlewoman. We are truly honored by this lavish consideration you so graciously afford us. My goodness, Ouchie, can't put a sock in it. In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson. So we're finally gonna hear her own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting, Ryunosuke. Alright, witness testimonia. The victim's death. Oh, the music's different now. This is the final thing, isn't it? Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burned his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem reports show no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway. My goodness, she's really saying, "You're inferior, I'm superior, la-di-da-di-da-di-da." That most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in Supreme Court's history, thank you. Easy does it, man. I hope that is the last time I'll have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. Oh, forgive me, I do hope I haven't insulted anyone. It's like if April May was in this game. If that was April May's ancestor, literally. Not at all, not at all. It's merely a delight to hear you speak, dear lady. And it seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant. I will be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today. The Minister of Justice? May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Amen. Amen. Thanks. Was that a prayer then? Well, you'll have to forgive the irritation, Miss Brett. Put up with a cross-examination now. I expect you've noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much. I'm sure I don't need to remind you, counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination in this trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear? Oh! Oh! Wow, I was not expecting that. That was... Slap! And now my face has been squished. Yes, Your Excellency. Then you may proceed with the cross-examination. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's finish this. Let's finish this. Let's go. Let's go. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burned his wrist like that. But his hand was on the searing hot plate for at least 3 whole seconds. You can't have not noticed. Do you think so? Let me ask you something. Sorry? Ever since I arrived at this courtroom, and even still now, the fly on those unsightly black trousers of yours have been wide open. Oh. You cannot have noticed, can you? Huh? What? Ah! What's a fun? You hadn't realized? The dear lady is absolutely right. As your friend, you've embarrassed me as well as yourself, Ryunosuke. Why didn't you tell me? Dr. Wilson was a true English gentleman. He chose honorable silence over a vulgar scream. Can your tiny brains imagine such a thing? Oh yes, I think my tiny brain can.
Yes!
Yes, our tiny brains can. I can't. Anyway. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As you testified before, you were drinking carbonated water, is that right? Dr. Wilson was only permitted to drink water at that time, if you remember. Which explains why he ordered that drink. Correct, waiter? Exactly as you say, sir. Although... whether or not the professor actually drank any of the water when I delivered the steak to the table, I'm afraid I don't remember that. Dang you. I have enough English to understand that at least. For the benefit of others in the court, it means Bless you. I think it means the exact opposite. Anyway. And you know what? As far as I've heard, the post-mortem reports show no other possible cause of death besides the gunpoint. Yes, it's written here in the paperwork. Fatal hemorrhage from ballistic trauma. Yes. Luckily for all of us, a little burn on the wrist isn't going to kill us. And as there were no other signs of trauma on the victim's body to indicate some other cause of death, it can only have been the bullet from your gun that put an end to this innocent man's life. But it doesn't make sense. The burn must have happened straight away, when the plate was first brought to the table by the waiter. Yes, that's true. If it had cooled down even slightly, it wouldn't have been able to make a burn like that. And if the victim burned his wrist on the hot plate as soon as it was brought out from the kitchen, then he must have already been dead at that point.
Objection!
And yet the fact is that the victim was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Until you're able to show the court evidence to disprove that, this is a complete waste of time. I concur. Prosecutor Alchi is right. Anyway, if there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me.
Yes!
Without leaving a trace, if someone is shot or strangled or stabbed or thrown from a height, however a person's life is taken, there are always telltale traces on the body. Quite right, dear lady. And as our police force has thoroughly examined the body of the deceased, there can be no doubt. Isn't that right, Inspector Hosonaga? As I've said, I've always aimed for a flawless investigation. There would be physical traces with all those causes of death, that's true. But maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a mark. If, heaven forbid, you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone how exactly you think the professor did lose his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it? Oh no, perish it, Doc, calling such a sweet young lady's innocence into question. On my honor, I, Takasuchi Alchi, will cut down any who dare cast such aspersions, I think. A way of killing someone that leaves no trace. We need some evidence to back us up here. Yes, evidence. Do we have evidence? Hold on. Do we have any evidence that proves that point right there? Loss of blood, photographic print, carbonated water, and steak lunch right there. Let me just examine that real quickly. Wait. I'm trying to figure out. But let me do the rest though. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway.
Yes.
Inferior? What do you mean by that? In the lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found in the crime scene for later examination. But in this country, you investigate once and that's the end of it. Isn't that so? Quite right. La Carnival is open for business as usual today, just days after the incident. Exactly, which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction,
Wait.
Oh my goodness, that scared me for a bit. What? Oh, this comes back, doesn't it? How can I do that? Can I not get to him? I don't think I can do it yet, can I? It doesn't even occur to your naive detectives to try to preserve the crime scene. I'm trying to be as tactful about this as I can, you understand? A killer blow, this lady is as formidable as she is beautiful. Amazing. He's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Alchi is finally starting to see sense. I very much doubt that. Still, there's something about what Miss Brett just said. There was a moment before when something didn't seem quite right. Should I go back on that though? What do you think, Ryunosuke? I think it's going terribly. No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new info. Yes, as I suspected. She's a tough witness. We need to find a way to break her testimony, or the cross-examination will be over. But that would mean I have to find a way. There must be some clue somewhere to help us find a chink in her armor. Kazuma. What, Ryunosuke? There is one thing I noticed, something that's been bothering me. Bothering you? You mean about Miss Brett? Actually, no. About the person standing next to her, Inspector Hosonaga. The detective? Yes, he seems to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last testimony. I was wondering if it might be significant, if it might present an opening maybe. Alright, I have an idea. Try pressing her on that last statement one more time, if you think so, but this time instead of targeting the woman herself, let's see what we can get out of the detective. Alright then, I wonder what Kazuma's thinking. We're actually bringing back the good stuff from Phoenix Wright and Ace Attorney. Yes, let's do it. I like that feature. It makes things a lot different. Oh wait, I made a mistake. I made a mistake. I pressed A one too many times. Oopsie. Let's get back on that. By the way, chat, I love the soundtrack in this game. It's pretty good, pretty dang good. There we go. Okay, so let's get back to that point then. To where he goes. There we go. So, can I select over or not? Yes, there it is again. Oh, just have to press A. The detective's reaction is just the same as before. Why? Up until now, the detective has been in the stand with Miss Brett as her interpreter. But things are very different now. For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the English woman has to say. This could be a golden opportunity. What do you mean? When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful not to let anything slip. However, when they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find they often let their guard down. You're right. Look at him, he's lost in his own thoughts. Oh, is it time to brandish the sword? It's time to pursue the man and his train of thought. Sorry, pursue? I'll explain how to do it now. It's all to do with the witness marker. Yep, the witness marker. Everybody knows the witness marker, am I right? I love the witness marker. Oh, sorry, chat. Just checking messages real quick. Never mind. Witness marker. What marker? Why did he all act the same exact way when he cross-examined a statement multiple times? They've established that doing that is canon. Yeah, you know, the classic witness marker. So every time they repeat themselves, they react the same way. So if you say I murdered somebody and I go, oh, if you say it again, I'll go, oh, and again, oh. Every time you mention that I murdered somebody. But I never murdered somebody, right? At the moment, we're focused on Miss Brett, who's the person actually making the current statement. Ah, but by moving the marker left and right, you can turn the attention to other people in the stand. While you're looking at other witnesses, you'll be able to pursue them. If you can catch the person at just the right time, you might uncover some new info to pursue. If you ever notice a strange atmosphere amongst the people in the stand, take a good look around. Alright then, so first I should move the marker across and focus on the detective. Then pursue him and see what's on his mind. Here we go! Vital evidence may be lost, and... Look! Oh. I had to wait for him to stop. Okay, there we go.
Excuse me.
Excuse me! Ugh! What's the meaning of this? Excuse me! I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. He really was lost in his thoughts. Deeply. It looked like you were thinking something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had to say? If there's something you'd like to say, please, share with the court.
Objection!
What is the meaning of this? is the delightful English woman who's testifying at the moment. If you can't find fault with her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over immediately. Oh, is that how it works? Absolutely not. The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness. Oh, yes, not to mention the fact that he's intimately involved in the case. Inspector Hosonaga, yes? Do you have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett? Wipey wipe? Well, yes, if you don't mind, I would like to speak. The lady is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain, which is why Satoru Hosonaga, always strive to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless. Absolutely flawless? What do you mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving evidence, you see. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done. A crime scene thief? Well, it looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there. Take this, for example. Oh? Is that? This is the bottle of carbonated water that I took to the victim's table on the day in question. And yes, it's lost all of its fizz, having been opened 3 days ago now. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anybody says. You want to take a drink? Yes, there's some left in the bottle. I can see it. One day our police force will be among the best in the world. The time is coming, I guarantee it. Stop dying first, please. I can't say I condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment. The court will accept the glass bottle of water as evidence. Ooh, carbonation water. Anybody thirsty? Hold on, I want to look at it first. Bottle. The label is written in a foreign language that I don't recognize. Do you know what it says, Kazuma? I think it's French. This must be very expensive It's water! How's it expensive? It's flippin' water! Yes, but what does it say? That's what I was asking. Then go to France and ask. You could've just say you don't know. You gotta love these two. I love how these two work together. Hold on, I wanna look in the bottle. I wanna look deep inside the bottle. Let's look deeper, chat. We gotta look inside that bottle. It's like soda, but without the syrup. Ew. It's just a bottle of water. Can you confirm this is indeed the bottle from which you drank on the day of the victim's death? Yes, it was that bottle. What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question. It's soda without the so. I love duh. I love drinking duh so much, let me tell ya. And the inspector will kindly control his fervor. Alright, let's see. No idea when the poor man burned his wrist like that, when the waiter brought my steak, raised our glasses in a toast. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace... Oh... The carbonated water!
Yes.
What is this, the bottle of water? Actually, there is one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind. Obviously, I'm referring to poison. Anybody want to drink my carbonated water? Anybody want water? 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 I swear it's not poison, but anybody want water? Ah, that delicious duh. Poison? On the day of his death, we all know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water. Could it be that there was poison inside? Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from his glass? When in doubt, use poison, am I right? Order! And on that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor and able to slip the poison into his drink? This is why you don't drink seawater? I have been drinking a lot of seawater whenever I fall into water, so I think by the amount of water I drank, I should be dead right about now. There's only one person who could possibly have done it. Jezio, brother, it was you! I smile.
Objection!
This is outrageous to suggest such a thing without a scrap of evidence. You little rookie imbecile. Have you even considered the delicate situation our country finds itself in now? Have you forgotten that we only just signed an accord of friendship with the British Empire? Have you even the vaguest an inkling that your rash accusations could jeopardize the entire treaty?
Objection!
This is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine one individual's guilt with respect to one's crime. What? The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. We are here to determine the truth. If I may, I will silence you forever for this disgraceful attack. Wow. That was very fancy shut up right there. That was the fanciest way I've ever heard someone been shut up for. Shut up! It is you who should be silent. Of course, my lady. Of course, my queen. More money, my queen. My queen, tell me to shut up more. I'll give you my money. Here, take it all. Take it all. Literally, that's what he just did right there. He's like, yes, of course, my queen. Dear lady. Where did that come from? She just snapped. I'm afraid I may have spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apologies. I'm sorry, my lady, to what are you referring? I described your police force as inferior, but no matter how inferior they may be, you still investigated this particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector, and whether it contained poison or not. So he knows. Of course. You did? Oh, he drank from it. That's why he's... Oh my goodness. Have you forgotten what my guiding principle is already? I strive for a flawless investigation every time. He drank from the bottle! I don't believe it. Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents. And what did you find, Inspector? I ordered tests for every toxin that's available in this country at the present time. We could find no trace of poison of any description in the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency. What? Are you sure? The tests were meticulously carried out by the Chief Coroner himself. No. No! I'm very grateful to you, old Japanese. You successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair. Thank you. But of course, dear lady, the pleasure was all ours. I was so sure. This can't be right. Everything falls into place if he was poisoned. Thank you, counsel. I think that cross-examination has clarified everything. As the prosecution has asserted, a shot to the chest from this gun is the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who by his own admission was holding his weapon, is the only possible culprit. I'm done for. The court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience this has caused you, Miss Brett. Oh no, I'm just glad the matter is resolved. Before proceeding, I must ask the counsel for the defense. Do you have any further new evidence to present the court at this point? Kazuma? I'm sorry, Yunosuke. I have nothing more. Well, if you'll excuse me now, I really must be leaving. Dang it, this can't be it. Somebody scream! Say something! Oh! It's her! Please wait! Isn't that... What is the meaning of this? Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikotoba, Judicial Assistant to the Defense. Oh. Mikotoba? In my darkest hour, with nowhere left to go, she appeared like a bolt of lightning, and in her hand, she carried a small package wrapped in a furoshiki cloth. Oh my goodness. Wait, to be continued? What do you mean to be how long is this case? Oh my goodness. This case is long. I thought I finished the first case tonight, but... wow. For a starter case, very long. Part 3. Holy heck, chat. Do you think I'll finish this tonight, or should I stop for now? Holy flick. I mean, like, how much longer do I have now? Does anybody know how much longer it would take? I was not... Aren't first cases normally like a couple of hours? Wasn't the first case in the first game like 2 hours long? Usually they're very short. Because I remember the past few games, it was the first game, I did the first case, and then I went into the... Oh my goodness. There's still that much more? Holy flip, wow! First cases do not usually go this long. Usually. That is long. Alright, you know what? I don't want to throw out my voice. I'm going to stop here for now. I was not expecting this case to be that long. I'm actually surprised. It's just that in the past few games, I did the first case and the beginning of the second case in one stream. Holy flip, they're really doing it. They're really trying to make this the best one ever, aren't they? But since I don't want to throw out my voice, I'll save whatever I had for the end of the stream next time, alright? I'll save it for the next stream. It was to do a reaction video live. That was basically it. But before we go, chat, I want to announce another game I plan to stream soon. Is anybody interested in what I plan to stream soon? I can share it real quickly right now. It's a game that was shown during E3, and it seemed very cool. Like, it seemed very cool. I'm trying to find the latest trailer if I can. No, not that. So, to those who don't know, the name of the game is called Fuga, Melodies of Steel. To those who don't know what that is, wait, is this it? Is this English? It is, okay. So, this is the next game I do want to stream real soon, because when I saw this during E3, it looked pretty dang cool, to be honest. I really did like it. So, I'm gonna show this, and then we'll end the stream right there. So, as a reminder, the game is called Fuga, Melodies of Steel. Here we go, let's check it out. Oh wait, I gotta show it. Alright, here we go. So this game is what I plan to stream next because it seems really cool.
This is the tale of 12 children. And the Tyrannus, a weapon of ancient times that will change their fates forever. Boarding the giant tank,
there we go.
They traverse the wastelands to save their families, captured by the Burman army.
So in a way, it reminds me of Advance Wars, but not really.
To defeat the fearsome empire that will do everything to stop you.
So as you can see, it's a furry war game.
Enjoy their daily lives, interact with each other, and strengthen their bonds.
So in a way, the interactions do matter. It's like Persona.
Go on expeditions to explore ancient ruins, fight monsters, evade dangerous traps, and find hidden treasures.
But that's not the end of it, chat. If you thought it was gonna be like, oh, this seems fine.
To regain their peaceful lives, the children move forward, ready to sacrifice everything.
Even
a friend's life.
This is a game where you may have to sacrifice your friends, and it changes the whole story. Your choices matter in this game. To activate the ultimate weapon, I have to sacrifice one of my friends. So this game is very deep.
Fateful decisions.
So Jet, this is what I want to stream soon. So if you're interested in seeing me stream this, I will plan to get it real soon because it comes out tomorrow. This game actually comes out tomorrow. But what do you think?
Their fate is in your hands.
What do you think, Chad? What do you think about this game? Is this something you're interested in seeing me stream? So we all make the choice. The stream makes the choice of
Fuga,
sacrificing.
Melodies of Steel.
Twitch sacrifices my
To
friends.
be
Let's
released
do
on
it.
July 29th.
Let's sacrifice my friends, Chad. How about
Available in
that?
deluxe and
But yeah, it seems pretty cool, so I do want to stream that in the future. If you're interested in seeing me stream that, I will try to probably sometime next month, maybe. We'll see. But thank you all for coming to the stream. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. This has been... It was crazy long, wasn't it? But of course, I will be back on Friday with more... Metroid. Yes, I'll be back with more Metroid Samus Returns on Friday. I will catch you all then. If you haven't followed me, please do for more streams like this. I upload daily on my YouTube channel. All streams will be uploaded on the archive channel Pixels by Midnight. And may you all have a wonderful night, everybody. Until then, adios, amigo. Bye-bye.